नादरीन, आप देख रहे हैं क्राइम टाइम न्यूज। मैं हूं आपका दोस्त खैसर खान, ब्यूरो चीफ क्राइम टाइम न्यूज। हर तरह की खबर से जुड़े रहने के लिए हमारे चैनल को लाइक करें, सब्सक्राइब करें और देखते रहिए क्राइम टाइम न्यूज।
A school of practice for all those panchayats to learn from such developed cluster of panchayats through systematic GPDP and its execution. I am also delighted to note the initiative of NIRD and Ministry of Rural Development, Government of India in creating decentralized community-based resource persons to address climate change issues and adaptation for better livelihood for the disadvantaged and marginalized households in the country. The 2-week program, which the NIRDPR has successfully initiated, is expected to create grassroots level resources persons for the climate change adaptation. I am impressed with the approach of creating such resources by 2-week intensive training program of the DDs for different states who are at grassroots level can spread and assist the small and marginal farmers to adopt such agricultural practices and adverse for the climatic change. I am happy to launch 5th batch of creating community resources persons for climate change adaptation and different states. I feel there is need for improving the capacity of the rural development functionaries so that massive effort of the government will actually be translated to services of the people with utmost efficacy, efficiency and effectiveness. The leadership at district, block and panchayat level involved need to be capacitated at frequent interval so as to align them to the changing policy approaches and programs. NIRDPR has realized this importance and accordingly has started the management development program for rural development leadership and first batch of training of block level leaders cost our effort. So he called one press person, like our friends, he called the press person and asked to write an advertisement. That advertisement, it's a clever pressman, he wrote an advertisement. This is a piece of land, this has a very good well with good water supply and a coconut tree which will fetch 100 to 200 coconuts a year, and it has a mango tree from which we will get 200 to 300 mangoes a year, and also a guava tree, and this is near the railway station and it is near the airport, near the school. Near means it's 200 kilometers also near only. Advertisement they will write like that only. So it's near the railway station and market is near that field and such a land is for sale. Then he wrote that piece of advertisement and gave it to the farmer and asked money for that charge for advertisement. Then immediately reading that, the farmer told, no, I am not going to sell the land. Then immediately he told, just few minutes back you told without selling this land you cannot regain your livelihood. So you want to sell this land. Immediately after writing this advertisement, you have changed your mind and why you are telling you are not going to sell the land. Then the farmer told, I didn't know such good things are there in my farm itself. When you highlighted that only, I could see that such a farm, why should I sell it? I can gain my livelihood by having this farm. So this is the example how the rural population, when the good things are highlighted, like our institution, which is bringing that work in a very fantastic way, doing that work in a very fantastic way, so the rural population will be benefited. This is a rich country which has poor people, rich in resources, but if it is not used by the people, by the government, the people are poor. But now it is leading as a country which has rich resources and making the people richer than that. So because the Panchayat Raj, the resources and mainly the connectivity which leads to the economic development of the people. First the knowledge connectivity and the physical connectivity and the electronic connectivity and the economic connectivity. So this institution fulfills all these so that the rural development schemes by various ministries, whether it's rural development ministry or other development ministries, it is fulfilling the aim of the Prime Minister and the governance. And it is also, I can mention the words of our Honorable Abdul Kalam ji. The major soul of the India is in villages. And if without the rural development, because 60% of the population is living in the rural areas. Without the rural development, the country cannot be a developed country. So it is mandatory to concentrate on the rural development. Even though we got independence quite 70 years back, unless otherwise the rural population gets its share, it cannot be a developed country. Rural products such as earthen lamps, which is liked by the people in the city, help the rural people to get their economical share. And apart from that, I want to mention, however, strengthening the democratic institutions at the grassroots level, it is an essential ingredient to give the power to the people so as to enable them to solve the local developmental issues that are very critical for the sustainable rural development. With this view, the Government of India has launched a movement that is Gramodaya Se Bharat Ke Uday, emphasizing the priority of the government. Similarly, the people planning campaign under the caption Sabki Yojana Sabka Vikas has given impetus for the decentralized planning to achieve economic development and social justice through the Gram Panchayat, which is ground level local government institution. The Gram Panchayat Development Plan GPDP is an innovative platform made available by the government since 2015, on which participatory planning by the people for the people through their Panchayat elected representatives is enabled, which is leading to sustainable rural development. The GPDP process has been streamlined in a campaigned approach during the last 2-3 years and ensured massive participation of the local leadership and people for planning and execution of the sustainable rural development initiatives in the country. I am aware that the Government of India has given massive upliftment to the Panchayat Raj institutions by developing massive resources in the form of 14 Finance Commission grants amounting to cumulative about 2.5 lakh crores over a period of 5 years, filled by digital alveoli. Immediately after entering the campus, I enjoyed the greeneries and really am very fortunate to be here. Of this institution in strengthening the local governments has been investigated as the mandate of the institution and the accordingly renamed as NIRD in 2014, considering the importance of the role of local governments in the development of rural areas. When your Director General of the National Institute of Rural Development, Dr. W.R. Reddy, met me, the way he explained about the institution, the way he, as Ms. Radhika explained all the activities, when he explained about the institution and the courses the institution is offering to different level of people and the Panchayat Raj, immediately it kindled my desire to visit this institution. I am very fortunate it happened much earlier. And as it was mentioned, after acquiring my position as the Governor of Telangana, this is my first institutional visit and I am happy to note that also. Rural development. It is it's a subject which is near to our honorable based approach for the rural development. The country has sufficient resources. That's what I want to mean. There was a famous saying in Tamil for the local bodies. I am hopeful that the 15th Finance Commission, which is examining the devolution of financial resources, will keep up the momentum created by infusing additional resources for the strengthening of the local governance and thus participatory sustainable rural development. I am very happy to note and congratulate the NIRD for taking up action research project for intensive hand-holding of Gram Panchayat in about 18 states to create successful schools and practice focusing on Gram Panchayat development plan in collaboration with community-based organizations and various corporates by funds under corporate social responsibility. I am told that already work has started in about 200 panchayats across the country after launch on 2nd October last year. NIRDPR is playing a crucial role in creating motivated youth talent, co-opted corporates, states and corporate organizations at immersing on the framework of Panchayat Raj system and the principles of decentralized planning and sustainable rural development. I am happy to launch another batch of training which is starting during this week with the collaborative effort of Foundation for Ecological Study, an NGO working at grassroots level for protection of common natural resources. I am also aware that NIRDPR is roping in large number of non-resident Indians to join in rural transformation effort by strengthening the Panchayat institutions. This project aims at providing hand-holding support in the form of young fellows who are passionate and motivated to work in rural areas. I wish NIRDPR to scale up this initiative to cover at least one cluster of Panchayat in every part of this effort. I am sure NIRDPR will cover the block development officers and all district collectors in a mission mode and orient them to the changing policy and strategies of the government for effective services, delivery and sustainable rural development. NIRDPR with its rural technology park is also enabling skilling and training in creation of rural livelihood. They are also promoting eco-friendly house technologies to meet the vast requirement of housing for all, which is the noble aim of the present government as goal. I am happy to note that there is considerable progress in creation of rural livelihoods and promotion of appropriate construction technologies and are eco-friendly both in rural and urban areas by this great institution. Dear friends, Honorable Prime Minister has requested every citizen to make our country free from single use of plastic and all of us have to work earnestly to achieve the same. I am delighted to note that NIRDPR has successfully completed the action research project making this 160 acres campus clean and green, eliminating plastic completely from the campus. Congratulations for that. I also appreciate the development of standard operating procedures for creating plastic-free environment in all the institutions and villages. NIRDPR can play a leading role in spreading these models in the country and achieving the dream of our Honorable Prime Minister. Dear friends, training and capacity building and research by NIRDPR require to be further accelerated so as to harness the huge youth power in the country. The passionate work of the faculty and supporting staff of this institution is utmost important and the requirement of the day, and I am sure and I hope